What is up, everybody? How's everyone doing today? How's y'all's week been? Let's see. We got Marco in the house. How you doing, Marco? Did you have a good week, Mr. Groundfog, sir? How are you? How are you? How are you? And Scooter's in the house. Cheers, Scooter. No, this this is different stuff, not yours. Yours did not last long in the house. The wife even liked yours. So yeah, no, but we did appreciate your donation to the liquor cabinet. That was some pretty good bourbon. Neil McKenzie, how are you? How are you? So if you didn't notice, I've been absent for the last two Fridays. One Friday, I forget what the reason was for one Friday, but the last Friday, I had absolutely every intention of going live, and I had something come up super late Thursday night that creeped into the most unwanted hours of being awake on a Friday morning. So I literally didn't get home until like 4:30 in the morning on Friday, and my ass slept as much as I could, and was pretty much groggy the rest of the day, and was hurting a little bit. Uh, so I was, if I had done a live, I would have been like the last time, yawning like crazy and just very unpleasant. Like I would have not wanted to talk much. It would have been boring. I didn't have my giveaway package put together yet, so I apologize. I apologize. Shit happens, and sometimes you get stitches. That's what happened last Friday. Not gonna go into it. I'm just a little embarrassed. It's a little sad, pathetic. What caused me to need to get stitches on my hand? It was not a knife. It was not uh, a woodworking tool. It was nothing that would be the most common, usual suspect for me to get cut on. No, I got cut by something that was really dumb to get cut by. I still don't know how the hell I did it. I have no idea how the heck that item could have sliced me open the way that it did. But it did. And so I spent way too many hours in the shitty freaking emergency room that we have in this town, waiting to get stitches. And then when the nurse that did the stitches, I actually had a nurse, an RN, do the stitches, and she did the first three. She just did kind of towards the middle, but far apart, and I'm just like, that, no, like, please, a couple more at least. I was I was really unimpressed by her choice of placement, considering the fact that it's on the top of my hand. It's on the top of my freaking hand. Like, don't go skimpy on the stitches. I want to make sure that heals well, that heals right, and when you're dealing with something like on the top of your hand, where you've got tendons and stuff, and it's your hand, so it's a lot of movement. So they had me all wrapped up and bandaged up to try to limit my movement, as much as possible without having to put me in a cast. But still, like, do not go skimpy on the stitches in an area like that. So Luckily, she was not a bitch about me asking her to do 2 more stitches. But honestly, so altogether there's five. There's 5 of them on here, and really there should have been 6, and they should have been spaced much better. But it looks like it's healing. The very, very most important thing is no infections. So it's been a week and no infection so far. So, like, knock on wood, right? But hopefully I didn't gross any of y'all out too bad there. Taking a look at my hand. Kathleen, how are you? It was good to see you in Maddie's live Wednesday night. You were quite talkative, a little chatty even. Good to see that. B&A's in the house. B&A showed me. He and I sent a couple messages back and forth today about some stuff. And he showed me a cowboy hat that's made out of carbon fiber. And that's pretty wicked. And I want to say I've seen, maybe not that video particularly, but I know I've seen a Western hat made out of carbon fiber before. Never in person, but I think on a video or something. But yeah, nonetheless, they look freaking awesome. They look really cool. But it's a little too snazzy for me. It's a little too dressed. It's a little too gaudy. It's like, so really cool, but a little over the top. Illuminati, what up? Marco's in the house. Wait, you were here at the very beginning. All right. So, okay. So, again, it happened last Thursday night, super late Thursday night. Again, I did wear like a big bandage wrap for like the first 3 or 4 days. Yeah, pretty much the first 3 days. And then it got dirty, so I had to wash it. And then I went to put it back on that night, and it was just too damn hot. And the thing is very uncomfortable to sleep in. And granted, you're not moving around a whole lot when you're sleeping. But no, so like for the most part during the day, I have it all wrapped up. But I was doing something this afternoon. Well, on and off today. I was working on a couple things where I had it wrapped up loosely, but then had to be able to put a glove on my hand to protect it from getting dirty on top of the bandages. So I had to. So it's kind of just like a light layer of bandages, and then carefully finagle the glove on so that I could do what I need to do. But yeah, so it's been a week. It's been 7 days now. So I mean, and it's healing pretty darn good. And again, no infections. So it's actually with wearing the glove for a number of hours today. It was smart to let it to take the old bandages off that I've been wearing every 2 days, every pretty much 36 to 48 hours. I'm changing the bandages. So within 2 days, I'm taking old bandages off, cleaning it lightly with some alcohol pad, just gently around it, and then wrapping it back up. Well, the first 3 days I didn't. That's all I did, and then when I started doing on day 4 was putting just the thinnest little bit of triple antibiotic on it, just barely enough to say that you applied the ointment on there. And again, that was just entirely just to help prevent impossible infection happening by having the triple antibiotic. Plus, triple antibiotic helps speed up the healing process just by a tad. And if anything, for the most part, what's great about triple antibiotic is it really does. It's been proven that how much it limits the look of scar tissue. Like it really dumbs down scar tissue and doesn't make scars look nearly as bad if you don't use it. So yeah, so just thin little bit of just a light slab of triple antibiotic and wrap it back up and good to go. So yeah, so right now I literally before I started the right when I started the live I just took the bandages off, and then when we're done here this evening I will go clean it again and antibiotic it up and wrap it back up again. But no, I mean I've got range of motion. It's still the pinky is really sore because I kind of basically threw my hand at something and it hit what it hit, and that's what cut it open. But yeah, I really threw my hand accidentally at something, basically, essentially punched it. So yeah, no break, no fracture. I still have full range of motion. Thank goodness I didn't, slice a tendon. That would have been way worse, and I would have been all that much more upset about it with myself. So yeah, it's doing good. It's doing all right. But so that's that. We'll done and out of the way with. I don't want to talk about my hand anymore. Y'all get bored. There's really nothing more to say. But yeah, y'all are all saying hey to one another. Hey, it's the Johnsons. When was the last time you guys were in here? Went up for a ride. Oh, on the bike, on the motorcycle. That's the tomorrow. Tomorrow I gotta go to work for 5 hours, and I'm gonna take the bike. I'm gonna take the motorcycle because I have not ridden the motorcycle in like 9 days because we were on vacation and then we came back and then I busted up my hand and I haven't been able to ride. Tomorrow I'm gonna ride. I'm gonna because I can grip with the rest of my fingers. I just gotta be careful with my pinky. But yeah, I gotta get back on the motorcycle. I miss my motorcycle. Have not ridden in almost a weekend, pretty much a week and a half. I miss it. I miss it. I miss it. So, what have y'all been carrying? Anybody get anything new? I know in Grumpy's live last night, we were a couple of us provoked him to look at some newish knives, and and I know I've mentioned on here how much I would love to have the concept caveman. I really think that's a cool knife. I absolutely like it. Just tickles me to death that how on the blade it has the little caveman dude wielding a knife in his hand. Like that's just so cool. I love it. I love it. And that knife is like just the looks of it is like totally my jam. Absolutely my jam. But they want, for whatever reason, I know it's 20 CV, I know it's titanium, I know it's a 3.6-inch blade, but they want quite a bit for it. They want like $230, and I know you get your 10% discount, and that knocks off, gets it right around that $200 mark. But and I know it's 20 CV titanium. I don't know, just it feels $200 just feels like a little bit harder pill to swallow for it. Here's a dressier version of it. I wasn't going to get one quite this fancy, but there we go. So yeah, there's the caveman. This is the dressed up one with the camo carbon and Damascus blade. I wonder. Show me a picture with the blade open. Yeah, yeah, look at that. So they've got the Damascus blade and they have the little caveman dude there, but he's kind of just like almost covered up, like the Damascus messes with the image of the caveman. Ah, gotta can't do that. Like that's like one key thing about this knife that really excites me about it, like gets me going. Besides the overall blade shape and size and everything, but if I were to get one, this is the one that I would want. This one right here, the black wash titanium handle, black wash blade with all the silver accents. Pivot screw, thumb studs, silver. Hardware's all silver, and then the caveman is right there on the other side in silver, and it just pops on the black washed blade. Let's see. There we go. I don't know. Can y'all see that fairly well? The little caveman dude wielding a knife in his hand. It's just cool. I like this knife. I don't have $200 to put towards that right now. I wish I did. I wish I had some extra money. And the reason why I don't have extra money right now is because Aries EDC is making a knife that is my design for me, as well as I'm having him make one of his harpoon. What's the name of that model? The Bloom harpoon. And so I've basically got $260 tied into each of those. But here's mine. Just ignore the screws. Those were just things that I had laying around to help hold it together. So when he makes it a reality for me, there he'll have like pins in there, little small pins. But yeah, this is my design. This is it, made out of wood. Of course, jimping across the top right there, out towards the transition at the top. But yeah, just jimping right there. I didn't feel like you needed jimping all the way. I just felt like that. I mean, that's where your thumb's gonna land. So that's the only place that you need it, right? But yeah, ignore these gaudy. Look at these are just screws that I found in a drawer, and I was like, they're the right width, to make that work. So I used them, but yeah, ignore that. They make the handle look bad, but otherwise, yeah, it's a nice little 2.65-inch blade, and like 2.9-inch or 3-inch handle or whatever it is. Forget it. I don't remember exactly what my dimensions are, but it's basically for my hand, for anybody who wears a size medium or even a size large glove. You're going to be able to, because of that forward choil area. Well, it's kind of like, it's not really a true choil, but yeah, 3.5-inch handle. So 3.5-inch handle. I'm gonna use my other hand so you don't have to see my stitches. But yeah, because of this area right here, yeah. Even somebody who wears a size large glove, you're gonna be able to get, even if it's kind of just right there at the end, you're gonna get all your digits on there in that forward position. Otherwise, it's not the way I designed the curvature of the handle. It's not designed for you to go back, because if you go back, that's how far you're going back. You really, that's your position, and that's what's most comfortable. and that's where your other fingers, fall into that slimmer spot on the handle, and then your pinky rest up there, um, basically in line with your pointer, where your pointer finger is and your pinky is. Those are in line, and then your middle fingers kind of hug further in on the handle, just a little bit, if you can see that. So yeah, just very nice, little comfortable. And what was the blade? Blade, I was going for like 2.65, 2.75, just right in that area. Um, with the overall length of being like 6.2 inches overall length. I mean, the idea is for the battle for making like the perfect small EDC fixed blade for the average person's hand, which is that size medium and large size glove size for people's hands. Yeah, the search for that perfect size small EDC fixed blade, it's all about trying to get it as small as you can, and deciding, is it going to be, for most people, is it going to be a 3-finger knife handle, or do you want a full 4-finger handle on it? Trying to get all 4 fingers on it and still have a decent length of blade, that's the tricky um, in between spot. That's, you're never going to get it dialed in perfect for everybody. You're just trying to appease the majority. So more than 60%. If more than 60% of people can put it in their hand and get all 4 digits on it very comfortably, and enjoy the ergos of it, then it's a success. If if it's too small of a handle, then it's not. You're going to miss your mark on that. If it's too small of a blade, you're going to miss your mark on that, because people are going to be like, it's not proportionate to the blade and the handle are not in proportion to one another. They're not close enough to be in proportionate to one another. It's just really tricky. Good question, Kathleen. I do want him. I do have a hole drilled in the back for putting a lanyard on it. I don't know. Again, it kind of, the way I am with fixed blades, like if it's a definite 3-finger, then absolutely 100% I'm going to put a short lanyard on it. Usually roughly a 2 to 2.5 inch length lanyard with a bead on it. So I want the ability to put a lanyard and bead on it, but because of the size that I figured it out for me in my hand, I might not want a lanyard on this one. For photos, of course, small fixed blades look badass in photos with a nice lanyard and a badass bead on it. But for actual everyday carry and everyday use, and you better damn believe it that my knife design is going to get carried all the freaking time. But yeah, I don't know. Because I'm going to want to carry it all the damn time, I might not put a lanyard on it, because I did make it, size it, and work on the ergonomics of the handle to fit my hand very comfortably without having a lanyard. So we'll see. We'll see. Yes. So again, the idea is for something like this, something that's going to be relatively small. Here, let me size comparisons for you. Try to do this with one hand. So that is the f5.5, right? Which has a Where's it? Here's which has a 2.75-inch blade and a 3 3/4 inch handle. So yeah, so if you think about the size, they're very close. They're very, very close in measurements. Very close. My fixed blade design is definitely a little bit slimmer in the handle for sure. Right about the same in the blade. It's a little bit slimmer in the blade, but not by too terribly much. So that gives you an idea if you know the f5.5. So again, you know, a small, fairly small, not a full size by any means. Most people do not consider the f5.5 a full size knife. They you know, you throw this guy into the game, into the classification of a smaller knife. There's Mrs. Urban. She must be off for work. Oh, okay. She's going. She let me know that she's going to the gym. Yeah, it's funny because like I did tell her that I was going to be doing my live and that I won't be available because I'll be doing my live. But yeah, so this guy is an EDC, an everyday carry, small, compact, fixed blade, solely for the purpose of opening up packages, you know, cutting zip ties and rope and things like that, like small rope cordage, more so. But yeah, that was the whole idea behind it. And again, you know, we're over the last, I would say, year or two, probably 2 years. A lot of companies, quite a number of companies, have like jumped on that bandwagon of let's try to make the most perfect everyday carry fixed blade, the small little compact fixed blade that's not too small but also not big enough to where people who don't normally carry a fixed blade on them won't buy it and won't carry it. So it's a bit of a niche market area for these little small compact fixed blades because there's not a whole terrible amount of people that want to do that want something like that. Typically, your fixed blade guys, they go the hardcore fixed blade guys, the guys that carry fixed blades and use fixed blades, actually use them as fixed blades are supposed to be used. They want a hard use fixed blades that have at least a 4-inch blade, at minimum a 4-inch blade. Anything smaller than that, they don't want it because it can't do half of the shit that they want it to be able to do. That's why I got here. Let me grab. That's why I picked up this guy at Blade Show this year. and it's a little crazy. I even thought I was a little crazy, but I absolutely love the look of it. I love the design of it, and the straightforward ergonomics of it. But I really love the sheath as well, being your taco sheath, perfect for putting an ulti clip on it. But I picked up this guy. And what's crazy about it, for me, is that its blade edge is a recurve. And it's not a sheep's foot or Wharncliffe enthused blade shape. It's totally different from my norm. But I absolutely love the look of it. I love the the handle material is that rubber grip tex type stuff where there's actually little specks of rubber infused into the handle. So it's supposedly like super grippy when wet, a lot like micarta. Um, and it's antimicrobial. But yeah, it's got nice little off-white liners in it that look really cool. They kind of just help make the scale pop off of the blade, and the blade's been all etched and dinged up and weathered and just wicked looking. Just very forged and fiery aesthetics. And I really like this thing, and it's got a it's got a 3.5-inch blade, 3.5-inch blade. And this is kind of like in the winter time, I plan to carry this with me. Not necessarily when I go to work, but like just have on me, and absolutely I'm taking it when I go camping. Not backpacking, but definitely when I go camping. Definitely bringing this sucker. I totally forgot who makes it. It's Baldman EDC, I think is the name of the company that makes it. Here, I can probably pull that up. They have a larger version of it, and so like if I was like seriously wanting something to take out in the woods and use the way that you should, that bushcrafters and outdoorsmen use fixed blades, it's Baldman Knife and Tool. Why the hell won't it give me? Here we go. The name of this guy is the Serpico, Serpico or Serpico. Here, let me present. Share screen. Boom. There we go. So here's their website. And did I get the normal size? I think I got just their normal size. That's it in Swamp Camera. They had them both sizes at Blade Show in Atlanta, but yeah, 3.2-inch blade. Well, I don't. Their measurements are a little off because my measurements show like 3.45. 80 CRV 2, which is hardened to 60 to 61, which is a tough and durable steel. And that's exactly where you want the hardness for 80 CRV. But I gotta put that down. I'm drinking this whiskey or bourbon. It's 90 proof, and I'm drinking it like it's soda. I guess slow down. Put it down. Put it down, Urban. But yeah, the XL, which is what I would have loved to have grabbed the XL, but I didn't. It's another 40 bucks. I didn't have I was already way over my budget for Blade Show at that point when I picked this thing up. I did not need to be putting more money out there. I really shouldn't have even picked this one up, but I did. It's 4.2 inches. Yeah, so the XL version is 4.2 inches. I think also when I got to them, because I bought this on the last day. I bought this one on Sunday, and somebody reminded me. It might have been Stevie. Somebody reminded me, like, dude, you didn't pick up a fixed blade this year, and I was like, yeah, because I don't really need a fixed blade, and I bought like one or two of them just like a month or so before Blade Show, so like I kind of felt like, but yeah, so I ended up picking up one of these because I hadn't grabbed a fixed blade at Blade Show, and I usually like to get one. But yeah, the XL size is a good size. That's a 4.25 inch blade. And that would be good for regular outdoorsman stuff. The Albatross is a cool knife if you like a blade that has that very quick high upswept blade edge. That's not I can't, I absolutely can't do that kind of a blade edge. That bugs the shit out of me. They have the Cicada, which is a cool little, almost like a steak knife. Not really. It's only 2.5 inch blade, but it's slim. It's kind of like a paring knife almost. But yeah, it's a cute little EDCer. And but yeah, so yeah, cool guys. Talked to them for a little bit. The fellows that were running the booth at Blade Show for this company. Here's this one's at least got the that handle material. Can never remember what the handle material is. It's Grip Tech. Yeah, Grip Tech. And they're saying that those are gray liners, but I mean they're more of an off-white than they are really a gray. I would not call that gray, but what do I know? I'm at the smallest, slightest degree, I'm slightly colorblind. So make fun of me. Go ahead and drop the jokes. Mimo got a good colorblind joke. Well, Mimo's not in here. He's not here, but yeah. Yes. These days, yeah. I think it's mostly because um, everybody started to really dial in and figure out what the right heat treatment process and best results you can get with that 80 CR. It's just finally enough people dialed it down and got super stoked about the results, and it's like, yeah, this is actually if you do it right, this is a really good steel. Like, this is great for outdoor fixed blades. This is a great user steel that can take one hell of a beating and still retain a pretty darn good edge for pretty long, and not something that you have to really worry too much about rust, as long as you know do your half of your due diligence and taking care of it. Yeah. So yeah, AECR it's a good steel for a fixed blade. Now that people have got it figured out how to do it and do it right. Yeah, definitely a good blade steel. So I do have a giveaway tonight. Um, so don't leave. But there is one thing that I wanted to bring to light. Um, Mainly because it affects me slightly as a veteran that occasionally goes on to one of our military bases. But it also affects me in the fact that It's the place is only an hour and 10 minutes away from me. But here, let me pull up at least try to find an article about it so that you can see Fort Stewart shooting. Now I'll just go ahead and go with ABC News. All right. So just for the sake of giving y'all the details, without trying to go from my memory, at Fort Stewart, 5 soldiers were injured in a shooting on just on August 6th. Um, yeah, August 6th was when it happened. U.S. Army sergeant, which is an E5. Yeah, sergeant's like E5, I think. It's been so long. It's been like 13 years since I bothered to try to remember Army rankings. But anyways, shot and wounded 5 other soldiers at Fort Stewart, Georgia, using his personal handgun pistol. The shooting happened at roughly 10:56 a.m. Logistics Sergeant Cornelius Radford apprehended at 11:35. So it basically took right about 45 minutes for the whole thing to go down. And I don't know if any of y'all have been in a high level stress type situation. 45 minutes is fucking forever. Excuse my sorry. No, excuse my French. Yeah, 45 minutes feels like forever. For those that were there and involved in the whole thing, yeah, those 45 minutes probably felt like more than half of the day went by. Like, that's a crazy long time. But in all grand scheme of things, if you look at all the school shootings that have happened within the last 4 or 5 years, you look at the shooting attempts on President Trump when that all went down, like 45 minutes is actually a pretty fast reaction time. And on top of that, the shooter was not killed. The shooter was taken down, apprehended, and will face consequences in the court of law. Is that because this happened on a military base? Is that because this occurred amongst military personnel? Maybe. But there is something to be said about that. To me, in my mind, my takeaway from that is clearly they had enough training and they were brave enough to react the way that they should have. And they rectified the situation from within. From within. It didn't require outside law enforcement. It didn't require MPs, military police, from the other side of the base. Like, active duty service members took it upon themselves, said, hey, we know how to handle this situation. It's time to act. Training kicks in. Do what you got to do. Stop the threat. Eliminate the threat. And that's what they did. And they did that basically. I mean, it's 5 minutes altogether from when he was put in handcuffs by the military police. When military police got there, realistically, when he started shooting, that portion probably happened within 15 minutes or less. Supposedly, one of the co-workers tried to de-escalate the situation and talk him down. even the best at people that at that, you still only have like a 60-40 chance of success rate. You only have a 60% chance, success rate of being able to de-escalate and not have um, shots fired in this case, or not have the threat lose control. But yeah, so overall, this whole situation was handled really well by everyone that was, right there in the moment involved in it. No one died from it, and yeah, maybe that's because I guess you could write that off on the fact that it was, military personnel. But here's the thing, and how many politicians and all of your admirals and colonels are going to look at this situation after the fact and trying to figure out, well, what do we need to do to prevent this from happening again? Right, that's always the afterthought. um it was found out that this guy, even though he had not been previously deployed to combat, so technically, therefore, by default, they are trying to imply that he doesn't have PTSD. There are sad, sorry saps out there, pathetic jokes of human beings that legitimately suffer from PTSD from the dumbest things that they experience in their lives. But because of how extreme the situation that they're receiving PTSD from is for them, they have PTSD from it. Like PTSD from an interaction in the Walmart parking lot with a little bit of road rage over, fighting over a parking space. Some people get PTSD from stupid stuff like that. Like PTSD can be pretty ridiculous at one end of the spectrum. This guy did not deploy, was not in a combat situation, so therefore, supposedly, he doesn't have any PTSD from anything in his life. But yet, he had been arrested locally for DUI within a month or so before this event happened. So just within the last 2 months, he got arrested for locally for a DUI, which kind of, I guess, implies or attempts to imply that he's a troubled soul, that maybe his mental state is compromised. Maybe he's suffering from severe depression and was drinking away his problems, and that's why he got the DUI, and he kept everything all hush hush because he didn't want his command to know about it, so that he wouldn't be disqualified or overlooked for promotion, you know abilities, that kind of a thing. Usually, from when I was in, like, if you got a DUI on the weekend, you didn't say shit about it. You went to muster Monday morning, you didn't say nothing to nobody. Like, you did not want your chain of command knowing that you got a DUI on the weekend. You did not want your coworkers to be able to, like, make something out of it and give you a hard time and tease you about it and talk behind your back about you having gotten a DUI over the weekend. Like, that was totally avoided. You acted like it never happened and hoped that nobody did any digging. That was kind of how it was when I was in, at least. Because we had dudes, my commands, we had fellas that was their stick. Like, they got into trouble on the weekends. Some of them got DUIs, and yep, everybody knew, like, you get a DUI, you don't say nothing. You hide that shit as hard as you can. But yeah, so, like, as an aftermath, like, how much more strenuous are you going to be with military personnel on the base? How much more are you going to be able to do as far as mental health help goes? Like, it's really hard. It's really, really hard to determine, to figure out, especially for military, because military, like, it's burned into you. You don't show emotions. You don't let your personal life interfere with the job, with the mission. The mission comes first. Military. You leave your personal life at home. Your personal life doesn't matter to them. It's kind of the mindset that gets presented even at boot camp, as early as boot camp. So, like, you're supposed to suppress all of your emotions. Being a military member, you're supposed to be hard. You're supposed to be solid and dependable, and always ready, and all that jazz. But at the end of the day, we're still humans. We're still people. We're still, our feelings are there. Our emotions are there. We have personal lives when we're not on the base, when we're not in uniform. So, yeah. But bravo to all the individuals that reacted the way that they're trained to react to a situation like this, and bless the people, that the families and the individuals that were took a bullet, and that they recover as quickly as they can, as well as they can, and definitely humbled me about my stupid stitches on my hand. No, this was just stupid. This was embarrassing, really dumb. And I have nobody to be mad at but myself. But yeah, so that happened, and it's literally like an hour and 10 minutes north of me. I go on that base. Well, I have that base up there, Fort Stewart, which is an army base, a very large army base. And then I have the next closest base to me is south of me, where my last duty station was before I got medically separated. That's down in Kings Bay, which is a submarine base, a nuclear submarine base. On top of that, but yeah, thank you, Kathleen. That's a different type of combat wound. For sure. That's good. That's good. Thank you. I like that. That cheered me up. But yeah, so the sub base is about 40 minutes south of me. But yeah, both of them, I go there. Each of them I visit maybe twice a year. Yeah, about twice a year. So it's kind of like interesting to think about, like, when something extreme like that happens, a disaster happens at a place that you don't visit very often versus places that you do visit often, and you're like, well, dodge the bullet there, right? But no. I mean, you would think of all places that a military base, something like that would not happen. But again, that's kind of where, like, you have to remind yourself, we may be military personnel, but we still have feelings, we still have personal lives, we're still humans like the rest of you humans. As much as they try to beat it out of us, you can only change a person so much in so many ways, right? But yeah, I felt like I needed to offer my reflections and my perspective and input on something like that. I really hope that they don't, like with airport security after 9/11 happened, going to the extreme, you you can't carry You can't bring nail clippers on a plane. You can't bring a nail file on a plane. You, if you have car keys, you better not have the little Swiss Army um, uh, pocket knife thing dangling from your keychain. That's a no go. Like, all of a sudden we've got to take our shoes off and do this and do that, and all the random strip searches and everything. Like, are we gonna? Is base security gonna kind of heighten to where, like, instead of every 20 vehicles, they make you pull off to the side and do a vehicle search with a dog? Or are they gonna dial it down to like every 4 or 5 vehicles? I mean, are they? How much more strict are they gonna get? I guess it's a good thing I don't really go on the base very often, but yeah. So that's that. Again, I'm excited for those fixed blades. I'm super super stoked, and I cannot say how grateful I am that Aries or Scott is going to do this for me. He's going to make this reality for me. Like, y'all have no idea how excited I am for that. It probably won't be until like the end of September when he's done with it. And again, like I told him in one of his lives that he had the other day, absolutely no rush. Like, I get this. Doing this for me is his thing. He has never not once offered or advertised that he would be willing to do someone else's custom design. All his knives that he makes are of his design, and he's done like 1 or 2 collabs with people, but with him basically being the heavier influence on that collaboration. So the fact that he was willing to, you know I would say knife designing and knife making for custom designers, that's a, as far as not so much ego goes, not so much as reputation goes, but just as far as like, I'm the one making the knife. This is my art. This is my thing. I'm going to do everything the way I want it to be done. That's why I'm a custom designer. So very much like tattoo artists. Most tattoo artists are the same way. Like, when I did this design on my arm with the mountains and the river and the valley and the knife stuck in the log thing, when I had that done, I literally went to the tattoo artist who I've never met before. He did a tattoo, I think, for my wife, and I liked his style. I liked the way he does tattoos, and I was like, yeah, this guy would be able to. He could pull off what I want and make me happy about it. So I went to him basically with 2 photographs from places that I've been, places that I've done backpacking. And I took a photograph of my knife, of the knife that I wanted him to put in the tattoo, sticking in a log in a river. And then I took another picture of the valley, that I liked the way the valley was laid out and the way the tree lines were and everything. So I basically took those 2 photos to him, and I said, I want you to do this. Like, put them together. Like, I want the valley here, but then I want the river coming down through it, and then I want the knife stuck in the log. So I basically took his creative, artistic abilities, and almost to an extent, from their perspective, it's like giving them the middle finger. It's like, fuck you and your artistic talent and your abilities and your style. I want you to do what my style is, like, with almost no artistic freedom, no room for adding your own flair into it. Most tattoo artists, the vast majority of tattoo artists will say, get out of my face with that shit. I'm not doing it. Like they will not do it. So it's not quite as bad in the knife community with custom designers. Some of them are that way, have that mentality, and then some of them are super kind. Are a little more open-minded and willing to occasionally do something with that. So yeah, I made two of these. I sent him the other one, so he has the other one out of the two that I cut out on the bandsaw and put together and painted. He has the one that I guess I felt, although I made them pretty much damn near identical. I mailed him the one that I felt like was slightly better in portraying the design footprint that I wanted. But again, they were like thorough. I did such a good job with the bandsaw because I've got skills with the bandsaw in cutting them out. I'm not saying that this is super difficult, but you have to have a steady hand. You have to go slow, and you have to follow your lines to a T, if in order to get the end result that you want. So, um, yeah. But I am so stoked and so grateful that Scott is willing to do that for me, and I say that in extreme respect for him and gratitude for him doing this, and I am paying for it. I mean, he didn't cut me a discount, that's for damn sure. Uh, I'm having him do the blade steel and nitro V, and I picked out some jute micarta, which is very similar to your burlap micarta in a nice dark brick red. So that'll look cool. That's red's one of my favorite colors. Yeah, okay. Chuck Norris can do anything with anything. But all right, so let's go. I totally forgot about the half-assed dinner that I'm trying to eat here. But let's get to the giveaway. Y'all ready for the giveaway? Now that I've rambled about my knife, now that I've rambled about about the shooting on the base. Again, luckily nobody was killed. Very, very fortunate that nobody was killed. But let's do a giveaway. And guess what? This is the first time. First time. Are y'all ready for this? First time in a giveaway on my channel. No, too late. We're doing it. I've ran my mouth enough. We're doing the giveaway. So first time for my channel for a giveaway. Somebody tonight is going to win a hand creation by me. Not just one piece, but two pieces. They're small items, but two wood-turned creations by Urban. The first one being this fun, cute little toothpick holder. So yeah, so it's out of cedar, American cedar, harvested just down the road. Yeah, so yeah, holds toothpicks. Just out of a small branch of cedar wood. So and I did the dark lines on it. I do that with sometimes with a nail, sometimes with a copper wire. Just kind of just depends on which one I can find in the mess that I have in my workshop. But yeah, fun little toothpick holder out of cedar, so it smells really good. Smells really, really good. Nicely sanded and polished. So that is the main item. And because I was just like literally, and B&A can attest to it because I was chatting with him about what to make this morning. I literally did this sucker in less than 3 hours altogether from start to finish, and that included drying time and all that. But but since that was not enough to eat up the hours of my day, I really didn't know what else to do with myself, not having to go to work. Um, Here's a piece of black walnut that I was kind of looking on the internet and jumped down the rabbit hole of like different keychain lanyards and things like that, made with wood. And I came across something somewhat similar to this where they did what I did here and drilled a horizontal hole as well as a vertical hole. And then that way the knot from the cordage from the paracord here is like captured, encased inside the hole. So kind of just something different, something neat, and yeah, it's kind of fun to do it. You could, you could hang this off of anything if you want. You could hang it off of your rear view mirror in the car, I just did a simple knot here. I didn't go crazy with any paracord thing, so this can actually be pulled out completely and then brought back through. And if you want to do, if you're a knot person, with paracord, you could do whatever you want with it. Um, but yeah, just a nice little dark walnut doodad thing with some cordage on it. You put it on a backpack strap. Hell, you could even hang this from your ceiling fan cords. Your little pull cords on the ceiling fan. You could throw this sucker up on one of those if you wanted to. I don't care, but you do what you want with it. But it's kind of nice, and I added just a little couple of rings on the bottom for a little bit of design flair. And yeah, just thought that was just an interesting thing to make, to do. It didn't take very long to do that either. But yeah, so those are your handcrafted by me items. And then if anybody did not go take a look at it, and honestly, you have no excuse not to. You sitting here listening to me ramble about stupid stuff for my live. You better have fucking gone and looked at my video that I threw out this week on this little fun EDC flashlight. It's literally less than 4 minutes long. It is not a long video at all. Like, some videos, YouTubers, some of my knife videos last 15 to 20 minutes. A few of them do. My earlier ones do. It's always a goal to try to get in under 8 minutes. But yeah, go check out my little video on this flashlight. They're not priced. They're not on sale anymore at the stellar deal that I got. I think they're back up to like $32-$33, which kind of sucks. But it's something to throw in the Amazon cart and, just check on every once in a while when Amazon does big sale deals, during holidays and stuff, and see if they run this thing back down to that $9 price point. But yeah, these things are it's really cool. It's a really cool light. So please, please, please go watch that video. Check out all the cool, neat features that this thing. I mean, it even came with 2 diffusers. How crazy is that? And the mind-blowing bit is the fact that it's got a little miniature alarm system on it. You push one of the buttons and a crazy ass loud alarm goes off. But yeah, nice little EDC flashlight. Just something different from the norm. Again, packed full of crazy features. Go watch the video. Go watch my little video on it. Again, less than 4 minutes. I'm not asking for a lot of your time on that one. But yeah, 1,000 lumens on the high setting. Type C rechargeable. built-in lithium battery, magnet on the bottom, crap ton of colors. This thing's just chock full of cool features. But yep, this is part of the giveaway for tonight. Really sweet deal, $32 value. And thank you, Kathleen. I saw that. I appreciate people who appreciate those that can throw a little bit of artwork into the world in one way or another. And then the other thing that I'm going to include in tonight's giveaway, yes, we are doing a knife. I did not forget to put a knife in it. So this is the Ferrum Forge. I don't remember. What's the name of this? Is this the Stinger? I don't remember what the name of this guy is. I did a video on it when I got it. I think I got it from Stevie, actually. I think Stevie sent it to me. I don't know why. I guess I won it in a giveaway or something. But I've carried it a handful of times, maybe cut one or two things with it. And it's not exactly my style. It's a fantastic knife. It's a wonderful flipper, and it's in Nitro V, which when anybody besides Civivi does Nitro V, they do a damn good job with it, in my opinion. But let me see your channel. I know I did a video on it. How long ago though? It was my video where I think it's the one where I, for funsies, I did it in the damn bathtub. I think from a live, I was joking about doing it in the bathtub and just being hilariously, stupidly over intimate about it. Again, just for shits and giggles. Where's this stupid video? It was last year, in the second half of the year. I'm pretty positive. It was after that. Oh. I can't find the damn video on it. If y'all know, throw it up in the chat what the name of this knife is. Here it is. Rubber Dub Dub, Ferrum Forge in the tub. Yeah, I had a pretty good intro for it. I had a bunch of fun doing this video, and of course Mrs. Urban laughed her ass off with me doing it. Yeah, it's the Ferrum Forge Stinger. I was right. See, it's getting harder and harder, man. Every day it's so many knives, so many names. But yeah, the Ferrum Forge Stinger. Yep, that's it. It is the Stinger. My wife thinks 4 minutes is a marathon. Yeah, no kidding, right? But yeah, so here's the knife for today's giveaway. So you get the light, you get the knife, you get the Urban handcrafted, handmade wood items. And then because I fucking love the place and cannot stay away from it now that I've got one less than 10 minutes from my house, there are some Buc-ee's items in tonight's giveaway. The first one has to be some beaver nuggets. And for whatever reason, they've got 3 flavors. So they have the normal one, which is just a buttery caramel flavor. And then they have the sea salted caramel. And then they have the cinnamon one. And the cinnamon one is interesting. You have to be a fan of cinnamon to like it. Otherwise, you're probably not going to like it. Mrs. Urban absolutely loves the sea salted caramel ones. I'm a bigger fan in Suburban, little man, Riley, my youngest. He absolutely loves the normal ones, the regular ones. But I mean, I like both. I like both the sea. I like all three of them. But yeah, so here's some Bucky's Beaver Nuggets. Oh, what happened to my internet? I froze and went black. There we go. Oh no! Don't you dare say that. You are so wrong. Bucky's is the bomb. So there's Beaver Nuggets, and then I got you some mints, peppermint flavored Bucky's mints, which are very similar to the Altoids, but they do not taste the same as the Altoids. They're a little different, even for being peppermints. They're slightly different shaped. They're a little thicker than the Altoids. They are sugar free, so that is kind of a plus. And then basically when you're done, you got a nice little EDC tin. I know there's a gazillion ways to do a gazillion things with these little tins. So you have that. And then I'm throwing in a Bucky's lighter because who doesn't love to play with fire? No. I mean, even if you don't smoke, it's always good to have a lighter. It's good to have a lighter for burning the ends of your paracord, right? It's good to have a lighter for lighting fires, for taking care of that little strand that's on the end of your shirt that's annoying the crap out of you. Yeah, there's a gazillion things that lighters come in handy for on a regular basis. Yes, Bluminati, you can even light your beaver balls on fire. Do not recommend. Do not recommend. But you could if you wanted to. So yeah, that's today's giveaway. So you got the Urban Wood Creations, the flashlight, the Ferrum Forge Stinger pocket knife, and Bucky's Beaver Nuggets, lighter, and mints for when you've had enough of the rest of it for the day. Pretty good giveaway package. Yeah. B&A thinks so. So let me grab a piece of paper and pencil or pen or whatever. And we'll do the good old fun and reliable numbers game. Yeah, so much for getting a straight cut out of that, straight rip. That did not happen. Alright, so hopefully this piece of paper works for this because somehow, some way, Mrs. Urban did not do a good job in buying regular printer paper. We ended up with this super thin, nearly transparent stuff. Like, definitely thinner than normal paper stock. And I don't like it. I don't know where she bought it from. But hopefully, without me ripping holes in it, just try writing on a solid surface. Alright. Let's do. Let me write bigger. Alright, I'm gonna put it in the chat here. Range. Let's first do start. And then range is 1, 2, 3, 50. All right. Just put in the start and gave you the range in the chat. The range is 100 to 350. 100 to 350. Y'all go ahead and go, go, go. You're too nice. You're too kind, Kathleen. I don't think that'll help you win, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. So the range 100 to 350. Y'all throw your numbers up there. Throw them up there. Guess away. Let's see who's gonna be the winner today. Yeah, no, I love this little light. This thing's really cool. For under $10, it was really cool. It was kind of a no-brainer to grab. I don't know how the hell I came across it that day when I saw it, but I did, and I was like, hey. 1, it's a sweet flashlight. 2, that's a crazy good price. 3, that'll make a really sweet giveaway for the group for my live. so I bought 2. And then I went and checked back and did the video, and then when I went and pulled up the link for it off of Amazon, after I had recorded the video, I saw that it had gone back to its normal price, and I was like, well, hot damn. My next big purchase after buying these fixed blades from Scott from Aries EDC, my next big purchase that I would love to make, hopefully, if they drive the price down on it low enough, I would really, really love to get a new camera that does everything. I don't think I've ever. Well, I've owned more than one camera at one point in time, but I've never really had. Every camera that I've ever owned has pretty much been a do-all type camera. Sort of. I mean, I have one of the little itty bitty GoPros, the little tiny square one that has no screen to it, no flasher. It's a true little miniature GoPro. I forget what model it is, but I have that, and I've used that in the past for my whitewater kayaking and my backpacking trips and things where I know it's gonna get thrown around, banged around, and get wet. But then I've always had for a main camera for taking photos, I've always had something that's really good at doing everything. That I can just bring the one camera and do videos with it, and then also take solid photos with it, and then it's also very durable and rugged that it can get wet. It can be dropped down the hillside and tumble for 30-40 feet and not get broken. Right. So the most recent camera that I purchased, the last time I bought a camera, was almost right about 8 years ago, and it was this guy, the Olympus Tough series. This is the TG4. Olympus makes really solid cameras, but this is kind of where they shine, is in this Tough series. They make these cameras that are just really freaking durable, pretty much toddler proof, and yet still impressive specs to it, impressive capabilities with photo, video, and audio capabilities. But again, I paid almost $300 for this thing, 8 years ago. And it's finally, with all the things that I've used it for how much use that it's gotten, and I've really, really used the crap out of this damn thing. With only the one battery for it, I've not bothered to buy a second battery or none of that. But it's gotten to the point where the battery, instead of getting 4 or 5 hours of battery life out of it, I'm only getting about 45, 50 minutes of video time out of it. And if I'm taking photos, I get maybe 40 or 50 photos out of it before the battery's dead. So the battery lifespan sucks now. After 8 years, after I don't know how many times of charging the damn battery. So no complaints there. Actually pretty damn impressive for battery life and capacity. The other thing that I'm having issues with this sucker on, and boy, that's been a prominent issue for like the last year and a half, is it not wanting to read the SD card. Like some days I've got to pop that SD card in and out of this thing 3 or 4 times, fool around with it, take the micro SD out of the card reader, SD card reader, and put it all back together and then mash it back in. And then sometimes it wants to, like, I hit the record button and then like a minute or less into the recording time, it automatically stops the recording. And it's like it's not on a setting to do that. I don't know why. It's just randomly deciding to not record anymore. So like I've had, those are the main 3 issues that have been going on for like the last year and a half with this thing. So feel like it's time for me to get a new camera. The Canon 7D. So again, because of how I am as a buyer, as a customer, each camera I want to last me at least 6 years, at least 6 or 7 years. If I'm going to spend $300 or more, I better get at least 6 years out of it. I don't know how many of y'all are in the same boat of it being time for a new camera, but so one thing that a couple things that I'm looking at, that's the checks in the box type deal as far as for a new camera. It's gotta put the check in the box for good image quality, great image quality. Because look at what our cell phones can do. I got a cell phone that shoots 18 megapixel photos with great lighting and all, and clarity and color and all that jazz. What? Okay. Okay. It's not a school night, so y'all can stay up till 10. Huh? Just a mint? I don't have any more. Get out of here. I'm on my life. Shoot. But, sorry, kids interrupting, talking about figuring out what bedtime is now that they've gone back to school. So everything's getting slightly adjusted, School night versus weekend bedtimes. Where are we at this year, Dad? Well, how late can we stay up? So like I said, being a big time researcher and having a small photography background, mostly my photography background is everything that I've learned from my father, because my father was actually started off in college as a photography major. So he knows all about that. He actually worked for a photo image studio and worked in the black room with processing photographs. Doing all the, dip the photograph in the different solutions, and black and whites and all that stuff. So he knows everything in regards to all that. So I've learned a lot from him, plus done my own researching and learning, and then getting out there. You learn the best by going out there and doing it, and then having experts critique the shit out of you, and tell you where you screwed up, and how you took this photo or how you took that photo. But so for the sake of my budget and trying to get the best bang for my buck, as far as getting a camera that is super good quality, can take slightly better photos, still photos, than my phone, and then do an awesome job with videos. And as a YouTuber, doing vlogging type videos where I'm the one in front of the camera, by myself, trying to do everything by myself, as well as do all my upload videos on knives and flashlights and whatever. This is kind of where I found myself dialed into this particular camera right here. I've had a fantastic run with Olympus, but I feel like Olympus hasn't brought anything new in the last 4 or 5 years to the table that really shines in all areas other than their Tough series. And I kind of want to get away from the Tough series. I'm not for my backpacking and my whitewater kayaking, I'm not doing any more filming for my whitewater kayaking. I've done whitewater kayaking for almost 20 years of my life. I go at least 2 or 3 times a year. When I was much younger, it was a couple more times often frequent than that. But yeah, so like I don't feel like I need to or want to film my whitewater kayaking experiences. I do want to do a little bit more with my backpacking, especially with new gear, new technology in backpacking gear and camping gear, and maybe trying to find some new places here in the Southeast that I've not been, which is really hard. Like, I've been everywhere. As far as backpacking trails goes, I've been pretty much freaking everywhere. I've been on all of them. Yeah, being a Georgia boy and growing up just being in love with camping and backpacking, like, there's not really any place that I haven't been. Which is crazy to think about, because there are quite a number of trails. There's a lot of places to go. And just trying to find some new ones is tough. I don't know. It's just like, I've been there, and I've been there, and I've also been there. I haven't been there in probably a decade, so I might want to go back again. I don't know. But yeah, it's tough. So this is the camera that I've kind of landed on, and it's still like at the high end of what I feel like I don't want to pay $700 for this thing. I really, really don't. Really, really don't. But it is a damn good camera, and the ones that are just a hair bit better in one way or another, they're pretty much double the price. They're almost double the price. Like, it was painful over the last 3 weeks in looking for my next camera, and like the sticker shock was just, oh man, did it freaking hurt. Golly, does it hurt to see how expensive these cameras are. Ugh. It makes you want to just buy $100 cheapo camera and be done with it and just say, fuck it. It's just like, oh my gosh, they're so expensive. They want too much money for these things. So I've got this sucker saved, and I'm really hoping, really, really desperately hoping that Black Friday will knock at least $100 off this. I mean, it's got to be under $600. Otherwise, I don't think I can do it. I don't want my. Granted, Mrs. Urban got promoted. She starts her new job next week, and I'm so stoked for her. I'm very, very happy with her. I'm very, very proud of her. All of us in my family are very, very proud of her. Even the few people on her side of the family are proud of her to some extent. But she starts her new job as an RN rather than being an LPN. So pay raise, decent chunk more than what she. I mean, she was pretty much maxed out. She got to the point where she was maxed out for pay as an LPN. They were like a couple dollars more, and that's what an entry RN gets. So because she's got over 6 years of LPN experience as an RN now, her pay is a little bit higher than a typical entry RN, just by a couple of dollars. But yeah, she's getting over $40 an hour now, which is well deserved. If anything, it really honestly should be 45. But it probably won't take but 6 months or more before she gets there. She'll shoot in about 6 to 9 months. She'll be around $45 an hour, which is good pay. Good pay for an RN. But I do not want her spending as a birthday / Christmas combined present. I don't want her spending $700 on this thing. I don't. That's not happening. That's a no go for $700. Gotta be under $6, somewhere, some way, somehow, for me to buy this. But this is the cheapest one that puts a check in all of my boxes that really I would truly for the next 7 to 8 years be in love with and enjoy using it on a weekly, monthly basis. And that's the thing. I don't know how the rest of y'all are, because I know not everybody is really not everybody's into photography. Although we all have cell phones that have fairly nice cameras on them. Yeah, she would have done the stitches if she had the stuff, but she didn't have the stuff, and it happened super late at night, and it was just like I don't have a choice. I gotta go to the emergency room. But B&A, I'm gonna leave that up because I can get to that real quick in a minute. Yeah, that is true, Kathleen. Again, this is the size that I want. I don't want a big camera. My dad's got a beautiful. I don't remember if it's a Canon or I think it's a Canon or a Nikon. It's either Canon or a Nikon. I want to say it's a Canon, but my dad had a wonderful DSLR camera, digital camera that takes great pictures just because of today's technology, because of how high you can get your megapixels, because of how large they can get your aperture ratings, all the technical specs that goes into cameras. His DSLR camera is a fantastic camera, but I don't need just a camera. I need a video camera and a camera that can go places with me. That's not a pain to lug around because it's this big chunky, DSLR with nice big lens on it. And, I mean, so as much as our cell phones can do, as fantastic as the damn cameras that are on these things. And that was like when the next phone that I bought, when I bought this phone, when I was shopping for this phone, just a couple years ago when I got this thing, Like that was my one thing that from my last phone that I was like, I want to a decent step up is in the quality of the cameras, because we have this on us every damn day, every freaking place that we go, pretty much, right? Right? Nobody leaves home without these things, right? We all go everywhere with it. We all have it within reach pretty much 90% of the day. Yes, right? I do. Um, so I wanted a really good camera on my phone because I always have that. And because of that, because you can get a really good camera on your phone, which you have with you all the damn time, it's hard to want to take another one with you. Because it's like, okay, well, because my camera on my phone's so freaking amazing, I'll just take all my photos with my phone, right? So that's what you end up doing. So then you leave the camera at home and you do everything with the phone's camera. And there's just, I don't know. I guess because of my background, because of growing up with having my dad being a photographer, um, and being old enough to have experienced a good chunk of my youth without phones, without the existence of even digital cameras, like digital, I don't remember. I think it might have been in eighth or ninth grade when my dad brought home and gave me uh, a, a my very first digital camera. It was like eighth or ninth grade. He brought home in I think Intel or Intex or something like that. I forget what the name of it was, but it was terrible. The thing was awful, but like it was like in those early days where like you were somebody special if you had a digital camera. Like when those things first came out. It's just like with our parents or grandparents, like when the first television came out. Like if you had a television, you were somebody special. you know like that's how it was with digital cameras when digital cameras first came out, when cell phones first came out. Like you were somebody special if you were one of the first 5,000 people to have one in the world, but yeah. So the my point is that when you go to taking photos with this, like there's there's something, and for me it's almost intimate. There's something that is lost when you don't have something like this in your hands. This feels totally different than this. It does. There's no way around it. It does. And for those of us that are more photography minded people or enthusiastic about photography and taking really quality photos, super nice photos, there's just something about this that just like, I mean, we just feel so more connected to nature, to our photography, to the artistic part of it, to the uh, the urn that we have, the desire that we have to capture that gorgeous photo with the perfect lighting at the right angle, getting exactly the image that we want to have that memory trapped forever with a photo. Like for some of us, it means so much more to use a camera than it does to use a phone, because your phone, yes, it has a fantastic camera in it built into it, but it's still a phone at the end of the day. It's not a camera. And so I kind of, because I've been like more than 95% of my photos that I take, I use this because this has a slightly better camera than my camera abilities. Like my phone is just a little bit better, just a hair bit better. Um, and so like I really want to get back to using a camera. And in order to do that, I've got to jump from a 16 or 17, 18 megapixel, whatever my phone is, to a 20 to 28 megapixel. And I've got to up the aspect ratio, and I've got to up this and I up that, and it's got to be better at this and better at that. So all right, BNA, enough with the Nickelback jokes. You get the one, no more, no more, dude. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you can occasionally you can pull off with a really inexpensive camera or a really crappy phone camera. You can pull off an insanely good photo, even with very poor technology based photographic device. You can still occasionally pull something off that is really, really nice, really, really good. You just, I mean, you got to be a damn good photographer or just insanely lucky for that to happen. And, that's what it is. Um, but yeah, so that's the one that I want. Now going back to B&A's. Well, before we continue, let's go ahead and get our winner. Y'all want that? Y'all want? I could pull Maddie like Maddie did Wednesday. Wednesday, Maddie did exactly what I've done now tonight and started the numbers game, and then like rambled for like another hour and a half, and then finally got around to announcing the winner. Let's not do that tonight, right? I let's go ahead and knock this out. Let me scroll back up to where my start was, and we'll figure out who our winner is. Everybody did get their number in, right? What was the range? The range was 100 to 350. All right, where did I put the start up? At least I don't have nearly as many of y'all in here as Maddie's lives get. No. All right, here's the start, and the winning number was 292. So let's see who our closest was to 292. 292. Ooh. Leatherworks was just was 4 over. 4 over, man. With 296. Joe had 192. You're 100 off, Joe. Was that it? Was that all the guesses I got? You can't tell me everybody guessed. B&A was 217. 275 from Hey It's the Johnsons. They might be it looks like they're my winner. Y'all sucked at guessing close tonight. y'all didn't do very good. That's over 20 points off. Yeah. Leatherworks was just a hair over, but Hey It's the Johnsons got it at 275. Yeah. They're my winners. All right, sweet. They're new to win from me. Congratulations. They still here? Please tell me you're still here. Oh yeah, you're still here. Yeah. Congrats. Ah, no, it wasn't. You think so, Joe? You think that was too large of a spread? But about two. What was it? Yeah, I probably should have done 200 to 350. Yeah. Oh well. That was good though. Good job. All right. It's the Johnsons. Y'all gotta hit me up at Yeah, no, you're welcome. Absolutely, absolutely. That's all about me trying to give back from everything that gets sent my way. uh, but yeah, so email me at urbanwoodsman87 at gmail.com with all your shipping info, or hit me up on Instagram, whichever is easier for you. I check both of them. I'm on Instagram almost every day, pretty much every day, for a little bit here and there, and then you know, I see my email notifications all the time as well. But yeah. So hit me up, either email or on Instagram. Same Instagram, UrbanWoodsman87. That's me. So yeah, hit me up with your shipping info, and I'll get that sent out to you um, early next week. All those good items. Do y'all have Bucky's anywhere near y'all? Have y'all ever been to a Bucky's? uh, Everybody who knows me knows how much I love Bucky's. And there's just something about that place that puts a smile on my face every time I walk in there. I enjoy walking in their store, and they were there, at least from gas prices yesterday at our, usually as far as my town goes, we're not quite big enough to be a city, but as far as Brunswick, Georgia goes, um, Walmart and our Sam's Club, for the most, like the vast majority of the time, those are the cheapest places to get gas. Occasionally, some of the other gas stations around town uh, are matched to them, um, within a penny or two, if you're paying cash. But if you're not paying cash, if you're paying card, um, those are the places to get gas. Until we got our Bucky's. And our Bucky's opened July 1st this year. And it's literally less than 10 minutes from my house. Just got to deal with a couple of roundabouts, which are not exactly fun. But yeah, so I love Bucky's, and our Bucky's here. Yesterday, gas at Walmart and Sam's Club were like $2.76 to $2.78. Today, I haven't looked at Walmart or Sam's today, but today I had to run out to Bucky's for the giveaway items that I picked up, but also for a gift card for one of my older sons, one of his friends. His birthday's this weekend, and so I got him a Bucky's gift card because that kid likes Bucky's too, which is great. But it was $2.66 a gallon. Well, Bucky's is expanding, B&A. They are expanding. They're reaching. They're kind of from Texas going this way, going to the East Coast. I mean, being a Texas-based company, they got a crap ton in Texas. But coming this way, for the most part, they stayed in the Southeast and in the South altogether. But they're starting to go a little further north and north central United States. So they are expanding. They're definitely expanding. Besides having, for most of the Bucky's gas locations, I've been to maybe about 6 of them total altogether in my life so far. 6 different Bucky's locations. Been to at least one, if not maybe 2, out in Texas. I've been to the two of them They're in Florida, and I've been to 2 of them in Georgia. I've been to one in Florence, South Carolina. I have not been. The last time I was up in Sayreville, Tennessee, which is where Smoky Mountain Knife Works is, up above Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge area. Sayreville or Severville, I can't ever say it right. But the last time I was there at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, a good number of years ago, they hadn't built the Buc-ee's that is there now. And the Buc-ee's that is there now is literally, it's like less than 10 minutes down the road from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. So if you go to Smoky Mountain Knife Works, your ass better go to the Buc-ee's. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to go there, you might as well go to the Buc-ee's too. But yeah, what's great about the Buc-ee's, besides cheap gas, so I paid $2.66 today with card at my Buc-ee's. So while yesterday I know for sure the cheapest was $2.76 at Sam's Club, I paid $2.66, 10 cents less at Buc-ee's today. So filled the car up. But besides their gas, for the most part, being really well priced, fairly low priced at the vast majority of their locations, their store is almost a Walmart. Like there's just so much stuff in it. Everything from outdoor cooking, car stuff, emergency preparedness stuff, a whole bunch of clothing. They definitely support some of your Texas local and other local smaller companies, Western wear and outdoor apparel. They have a crap ton of flip-flops they do during all summer long. They've got all of your beach stuff in there. And then on top of all that, they've got a full-fledged 24/7 functioning brisket bar, like hot food being cranked out every bit of the day, every moment of the day. Constantly got the grills fired up, and they're making fresh sausage and brisket and pulled pork, and all that barbecue stuff. So it's incredible. Their food section, and then they sell beef jerky. They got your beaver nuggets. They got chips and all of your typical snacks and stuff. On top of that, they've got beer and wine and a whole wall of sodas, and their bathrooms are impeccably good sanitary wise. They literally have people cleaning their bathrooms nonstop. Employees are in the bathrooms cleaning the bathrooms 24/7. Doesn't matter if you go in there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the morning. Those bathrooms are cleaner than your bathroom at home. Cleanest bathrooms pretty much anywhere. Very, very clean. Like some of your fanciest hotels and fanciest restaurants are not any better than a Buc-ee's. At least any time that I've been in Buc-ee's. I mean, it's amazing. The traffic that they get is incredible. Our Buc-ee's has 120 gas pumps. 120. That's nuts. Your pilots and your travel centers, some of the biggest pilots and travel center gas stations, they don't even come close to 60. 60 to 70, I think, is the biggest ones in the whole country. Not anywhere near 100. Ours has 120. It's just mind blowing. They got a dog park. About a third of them have their own car wash. On that car wash things, the one thing that they don't allow, which I like, 18-wheelers are no go in a Buc-ee's. No 18-wheelers at Buc-ee's. So your campers, motorhomes, moving trucks, stuff like that. But if you've got more than 8 wheels, no go. You are not allowed. They will run your ass out of there. Because they're too busy, they're too congested to have that large of a truck or several of those size trucks trying to go in and out of their places. They're not set up for that. They don't want to be set up for that. They are much more of a family thing. So yeah. Hey, Eagle Scout, what's up, man? You missed the awesome giveaway. You missed it by like not even 10 minutes. Yeah, it probably won't be but another couple years before you guys will get a Buc-ee's up in Missouri. Probably in another 3 or 4 years. Well, what's up, Eagle Scout? Good to see you. Are you doing a live? I don't remember the last time you did a live. Have you had personal stuff going on? Kind of been quiet, as far as I know. This guy. If you haven't watched an Eagle Scout EDC live, I like, and I mean absolutely nothing negative about it, but Eagle Scout EDC has the same enthusiasm and eagerness to learn that we all did when we started the nosedive into the EDC game and the pocket knife game. Not everybody can afford $500 pocket knives, $700 pocket knives, $1,000 pocket knives. But I love how enthusiastic this guy is. And I'm all for watching him learn and explore and grow. And if anything I can do to help you out, brother, you let me know. I know I sent you the AD 20.5. But if there's anything else that I might be able to help you with, you just let me know, man. That's what we're all here for. Help each other out, lift each other up. Yeah, family stuff. And went on vacation. Yeah, I went on a little quick vacation and came home and had that happen to me. So I know how it goes. And the kids just started school, going back to school this week. My kids, my 6 kids. So yeah, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. But yeah, so well, I'll send you some pictures, but some good close-up pictures. But I made this. This was part of tonight's giveaway. some of my own creations, wood turning on the wood lathe. So it's a little, toothpick holder or whatever you want to put in it. And then I made this little lanyard keychain doodad thing. Again, used for whatever. But yeah, made that. Turned it on the. I threw it up on the. It was like it was a piece of wood that was about 3 times in length, and I just cut it down and threw it up on the lathe, and I turned just the ends like that, and added a little bit of decorative bits to it, and then just rounded off the other end, and then left the main body of it in that square or rectangular fashion, and then sanded it. Like, it's smooth, it's nice and smooth. 600 down to 600 grit sandpaper, and then did the oil coat on it. The Danish oil is what I use, but then did the holes in it, to attach some cordage to it. Yeah, did that, and then I did the flashlight and the knife and a couple of Buc-ee's items. So yeah, it's cool. And Hayes Johnson's. Yeah, that is tougher wood. I actually have walnut's definitely a harder wood to work with for sure. I actually have a piece that's ready to go on my lathe to turn and make a decent size bowl out of. But it's multiple. It's 2 different woods. I want to say that did I throw? I think I threw red oak. It's either red oak or poplar. I think it's red oak. Or it might be poplar. I don't remember. I glued it up like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. So many projects, not enough time, and unfortunate injuries keep delaying shit. But yeah, I used some of that dark walnut because I got a good number of pieces. My dad gave me a whole box of this black walnut for me to create things with. But I layered it, so I stacked it up like a 5-layer cake, with the 2 different wood colors, with the dark walnut and then a light colored. And I can't remember whether or not it's red oak. I hope it's poplar. I think it's poplar, because red oak is a tough wood to work with, as along with the the walnut. Both are very hardwoods, and wood turning them on the lathe is not a joy. It's a little rough. So, but it's doable. And I do an all right job with them. I am definitely not, as much as I aim for perfection, I do not reach the level of perfection that some wood turners crank pieces out. Like, some wood turners, like, they really make some very beautiful, extravagant pieces that are just damn near flawless. And I'm not there yet. I don't know if I ever want to be there. I kind of like just having fun and just winging it, and starting off a piece with one idea in my head of what I want it to be, and then like a third of the way into it, I change my mind, and the wood kind of helps direct me in doing that too, and I end up making something else out of it. Just whatever. Just the artistic creativity flows, and I don't necessarily always dead set myself to making something specific every single time. And that's what I that's what I can't stand. I can't stand having to make the same item with the same measurements, same dimensions, same cuts over and over and over again. Cannot do that. I will not. You will never see me doing that. That's like all the furniture that I build. is for me, is for my home, my family. Um, I made a couple. I made like one or two things for my parents. Um, but uh, but yeah, all the furniture that I've made, that I've built, is just it's specific, custom, purpose specific, uh, for my needs, for my home. And no one piece is exactly the same. Like, I have two different. I have built two end tables and the coffee table for my living room, and all three of those pieces are totally different from one another. Don't Not even close to one another as far as the design element being put into them. They're definitely different types of pieces, because I refuse to build the same shit. I don't want the repetition. That's dull. That's boring to me. That kills creativity and learning, like the self learning from trying to build things in different ways, and creating different pieces that require different engineering aspects to it from a builder's point of view. And that's what I enjoy. If I'm not doing that, then I don't enjoy it. I straight up just don't enjoy it. I hate it and don't want to do it. Takes all the fun out of woodworking for me. And that's why I love wood turning, is because it's 100% random, on the spot creativity. Let the juices flow. Let the wood guide you. Like, it's just there's just something for me, and for the most part, it's very therapeutic. But it allows me to just be me. Like, I don't have to answer to nobody. I don't have a boss that says, "Well, you got to make a bowl this size, this depth, out of this specific wood." I don't have that. I don't want that. I built my bed frame, and I was kind of nervous about my bed frame because Mrs. Urban, sleeps on the same bed that I sleep on. So, like, I was half expecting her to be like, "Well, I want to see what your plans are for our bed frame, because I want to make sure that I like it too." I was worried about that. I was a little worried that she was gonna try to put her foot into it and tell me what to make. Luckily, she didn't do that. She asked a couple questions, but she didn't, like my mother. My mother, on the other hand, she would have been like, if it was my dad. This is why my dad doesn't like build furniture for the home, because that's how my mom is. Like, she's got to demand it has to be done exactly a certain way, made out of certain wood, a certain look, a certain colors. Like, she's bossy about it, and very annoying in the way she does it. Very annoying. It is a blessing that my parents are still married. They're still together. That they're not divorced. I don't know how. I don't know why. My dad puts up with this crazy woman the way that he does. That he still lives with her. That he still sleeps next to her. I have no idea, because she is a challenge every day. Every day. I love my mom by default, but I don't like her. I don't like most of how she is as a person and the way she does things. Most things I butt heads with her on. And she's very stubborn, and I'm very stubborn, and therefore we're fairly alike in regards to those personality traits. So I guess that doesn't help. But man, my mom and I, whew, I have a 4-day limit with her. And that pretty much is what hers is with me. Like, the two of us cannot go more than 4 days before like we start like really irritating each other. We have a 4 day max. I'm open about it being a 4 day max, but like she'll try to be nicer and be like, no, he could stay with us for a week. You would be okay. And I'm like, no, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Not happening. uh, but yeah, don't you just love family? Where everybody gets along so well. Thanksgiving together is such a joy. Yes, that is and that's one thing that I will kind of miss when the wife and I when we move up into the North Georgia mountains rather than on the southeast coast of the state. Um, Cedar naturally grows around here, and it's not hard to get some for free. Um, Up in North Georgia, not quite so much. You don't see it in very many places, and therefore it's a whole lot harder to get, especially for free. Uh, and cedar is a beautiful wood, and it's a beautiful wood in its appearance as well as uh, its workability as far as building furniture and wood turning. And it just freaking smells fantastic. Just absolutely amazing smelling wood. And then I mentioned it looks gorgeous too. Here's my little change chalice that I keep like, SD cards and thumb drive readers and whatever in. But yeah, cedar is just it's an amazing wood. It's amazing wood to work with. And then on top of that awesomeness about it, it smells so good. And it forever smells good. It's not like with some things when you get it and it's new and it's fresh, um, it smells great for maybe the first 4 to 8 months, but then after that the smell dies away and it doesn't have the same thing going on with it. Not cedar. Cedar is just this thing is almost 2 years old and it's still freaking so good. Love cedar. Uh, but yeah, the other amazing thing that I was going to say about cedar that many people don't know, um, unless you're in construction or building or obsessed with wood, cedar is one of those handfuls of woods that is naturally anti-bug, anti-mildew, and corrosion. Yeah, cedar is in it for the long game, for the long haul. It is one of those woods that's just got those properties that just makes it so resistant to stuff. Not that I haven't seen some things get into some cedar, because I have, but historically it is known as being one of those woods that doesn't mildew, doesn't warp, doesn't invite bugs like plenty of other woods do. It's all around a very weather and nature resistant uh, tree. So yeah. All right, I think we should wrap it up. I think we should call it a night. Again, thank you everybody for popping in uh, and participating. Appreciate appreciate my my loyal, faithful followers, and yeah, it'll be great. I'm really happy that somebody new and got the giveaway tonight, and wish me luck on getting a good deal on this new camera. Oh, B&A, I'll hit you up later about a sweet little action camera that I think you might like for a really good price with that has high performance level. I stumbled across a couple of them, and I got one that might interest you. But yeah, I'll hit you up later. Yep. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Love you very much. Y'all have a great weekend. Be safe. Be careful. Keep your head on a swivel. And I'm out of here. Peace.